What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are focusing on the most common errors I see others making, sometimes myself in the past as well, when executing slipping. When you're trying to dodge a punch, it's coming towards your head, could be a jab, could be a cross, could be hooks, where you're rolling. What are the common errors? We're going to address those today. Slipping is like many things in martial arts. You can practice time and time again in front of a mirror. You think you're looking really good, and then all of a sudden you start doing it for real. You have an opponent across from you, and they're not playing your game, or they're going a little faster than you're used to, or their timing's a little offbeat, and everything that you think you worked on that was going great just goes out the window, and all of a sudden you're getting lit up. Well, it's the same with slipping. You can look great, but there's no point in thinking you're gonna have any chance of success until at least you look great doing that kind of stuff on your own. I'm gonna be slowing down a little bit today just because I got this microphone strapped in and I wanna send it flying, but we are gonna go through all the breakdowns and technicalities of the proper slips and the errors which are most commonly associated with whatever slip you are doing. And quick shout out to X Martial, who sponsored this video. These guys have been treating me so well, hooking me up with all sorts of fantastic gear. I'm gonna have a link down below. You can save 10% by using promo code Gabriel Varga, and you're gonna find yourself gear, apparel, streetwear, all that cool stuff right there, one-stop shop. So the very first error, which I note many times, and maybe not an error for boxing because we're not worried about legs, but if I see somebody doing MMA, Muay Thai, or kickboxing, as they drop to the side, they are not protecting their head. What does that mean? It means we could potentially just be leaning right into a roundhouse kick. So as you practice your slipping and you're going from side to side, you'll see whichever way I drop, I make sure my hand is up. I'm not gonna try and cross block. That's an entirely different thing. We don't wanna slip and cross block. We just wanna get our head off that center line, but we wanna make sure the hand is not dropping as we do it. Boxing, sure. We could be right in here and just drop. See, I went too fast and I lost my mic. Gotta go slow. Okay, one more time. So if I drop to the side, this hand is stapled right to my head, ideally at least up past eye level to make sure I'm completely protected and that kick is not gonna catch me on the upper section of my head. Slip error number 2, and still talking about the exact same technique, is people only go side to side. So if you see me from this profile, you'd only see this. From the front, it might not look too bad, but from the side, you're going, huh, that's odd. Because what we want to happen is we want the weight to shift forward slightly. It's a nice combo of leaning straight forward and leaning straight to the side. Why do I not lean straight to the side? Well, if the attack comes and I lean only to the side, you're gonna see I'm not able to get a lot of power on my follow-up technique. In addition, when I lean over here, I'm right in line for another punch. Whereas when I lean forward, if somebody slips and they get a little bit in here, it's a little harder to get a punch in. It's kind of like a chop punch as opposed to boom, full leverage shot. So dropping to the side, but a little bit forward is ideal. And if you get that punch going way by you, it lines you up for a killer uppercut. If you're way out of range, because you go to here, it's very difficult to get any beautiful counters happening. Moving on, something that I note a lot of times when I see people working their slipping, when they're thinking, okay, a hook is coming at my head and I'm going to roll under, they forget about the legs. And it ends up kind of turning into more this motion. And if you put in a little bit of legs, yeah, you can do it. But what we want is we want a little bit of a drop, almost like we are slipping a straight punch to start, a little drop to the side, slightly from the legs, slightly rotating the body, and then rolling down with a squat all the way to the other side. So I flow from one side to the other side, and when you see me doing this from that side profile, it looks something like this. I'll back up a little bit more so you can see my legs dropping and rolling with that lower body, upper body engaging a little bit, lower body engaging a little bit. Nice combo of the two. Now, many of us have for many years watched guys like Conor McGregor just work that pullback, that little twitch pull. And something that I see a lot of people doing is staying really square with their shoulders. And then when they stay square with their shoulders, they're only focused on, oh, I gotta get my head back. I'm gonna lean my head back. And it almost looks like they're getting ready to start doing a limbo. But we don't want that. And we don't want that for a couple of reasons. The main one for me though is when I lean back to here, I have nowhere else to go. I've kind of reached that max ability to lean back. And if I get hit here now, I'm getting my head just snapped so hard. Whereas if I remember to engage my back leg a little bit, to turn my torso a little bit, to pull and push my hips a little forward, the same way you'll see Muay Thai fighters push their hips forward when they slip a head kick. If I do all that, now from here, if they hit me, I can still bounce a little bit through my torso. And I'm not completely maxed out on my lean back. Very important. Yes, we'll see guys like Connor be like, whoa, but he still has more to give. He's not maxing out. So if you're a beginner and you're trying that pullback, just make sure you don't go to full extension and keep yourself square. Whenever I spar with somebody who does that, I'll tap, 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 they'll lean way back, and then I'll hit them with another one and just remind them that, oh my gosh, you're in a bad position right now. And usually they recognize it because they feel when they get hit, oh, and there was nowhere to go. Very important, massive mistake. Now let's say you have all your slipping down. You're really good. You're looking in the mirror like, okay, everything Gabriel just said, I'm doing really well, but I'm still not executing very well in sparring. Well, there's one massive mistake that you are probably making, and it is staying stationary and fairly rigid. If somebody starts throwing shots at me and I just sit here waiting, the first motion that they throw, they're gonna move, and I'm already gonna be behind because they've started movement and now I have to engage from freezing to moving. It's very slow to do that. You want to stay in motion. If you're somebody who wants to work on slipping, small motions, just moving, calculated. And what's going to happen is once they start, you already being in motion makes it so much easier to continue movement. It's easier to be in movement and continue through than to be frozen and then just throw from nowhere. And that's very much why in karate, when they're in this freeze situation and they boom, blast in, it's not as effective as moving around, staying in motion and then blasting. Much faster way. Same thing when you slip. Don't be a statue and then try to move your head. Stay in motion, move a little bit, and then twitch. And it'll be so much easier. Fast, concise episode today. Check yourself on all those points. If you're doing them, you should be able to start executing slips in sparring. I'll see you guys back here soon for another video.